Hey, welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. I'm Scott, and for those of you who are new to our channel, I spent the past 41 years as a high school football and golf coach. And in that time, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel and play many of the great golf courses across the world. During COVID, I taught my lovely wife, Cheryl, how to play golf, and she caught the bug and is now hooked. Now we travel the world together, playing some of the best courses that the world has to offer. Then we rate and review each golf course or resort on our channel for a couple like us who like to travel and play golf. Now, this week, Cheryl's on a little mini vacation, so I thought I would answer a question a few of our subscribers have asked me and to list some of my favorite courses that I've played. So, today in this video, we're going to rate the top 15 courses that I've played in the United States. To make this list, I scored each of my 30 some odd favorites based on things like layout, variety of holes, shot values, and aesthetics. And then I tallied up the points to make it as objective as I could and try to eliminate any emotional decisions as much as I could. So here's my list of the top 15 courses of the hundreds I've played in the United States in reverse order. Now, please don't hate. This is my list. If you played some of these, leave a comment below and tell me what you think or leave me a list of your favorites. Most of mine of these are public resorts, and only a few of which are private. All 15 of my courses have been rated in Golf Digest Top 100 in the US, or in the Top 100 public courses, or in Golf Week's Top 100 Places You Can Play list. So they're all top-notch golf courses. 3 of these courses currently host PGA Tour events. Majors have been played at 3 other of these golf courses, and 2 have even hosted Ryder Cups. And then several have hosted USGA Amateur Championships as well. So be sure and check the links in the description below for all of our full reviews of most of these 15 courses on our channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. So I'll leave those links in the description below. All right, so let's begin our countdown with number 15 on my list. And we're going to start with the Caledonia Golf and Fish Club in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Caledonia is an 18-hole course located in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, on the south end of the Grand Strand in Myrtle Beach area. The course and its sister course next door, True Blue, both were designed by the late Mike Strantz of the Pinehurst area of Todd Hill Farm and Tobacco Road fame. The course has 4 sets of tees ranging from about 4,900 yards to just a little over 6,500 yards. So it's one of the shorter courses on the Grand Strand, and it makes it playable by all levels of player. Even though the difficulty level is really high, you've got some forward sets of tees that even the high handicapper can play and have a good time. Caledonia is visually stunning with Strand's signature massive bunkers and waste areas, and is a liberal use of mounds, railroad ties, and water hazards everywhere on the golf course. It's an extremely beautiful day on the golf course. Caledonia has made both Golf Magazine and Golf Digest Top 100 public courses and courses that you can play list. It's my favorite course in the Myrtle Beach area, and I've played over 100 of either current or former golf courses in the area. And I've been traveling out to Myrtle Beach for over 40 years now, since the mid-'80s. So this is my number 1 there, Caledonia Golf and Fish Club. Number 14 on my list is the Pauite Golf Resort, the Wolfe course, just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. The Wolfe course is part of a 54-hole complex just north of Vegas on a Native American reservation. All 3 courses were designed by Pete Dye and feature his signature railroad ties, bulkheads, pot bunkers, large waste areas, severe mounding, and small but really sloped greens. The Wolfe has 5 sets of tees ranging from 4,900 yards to over 7,600 yards, making it the longest in Nevada, and it plays by far, I think, the most difficult of the 3 at the Pauite Resort. Despite being in the desert, Dye uses several water hazards on the Wolfe. He's been known for when he moves all of that earth to create those mounds, he always has the big lakes in the golf course. So there's a lot of water on it, even though it's in the desert. Pauite's one of my favorite desert courses, as there's no houses or developments on any of the 3 courses because it's on Native American land. So you get some really terrific views of the desert and the nearby mountains. And even you can see the strip off in the distance. Of all the courses that we've played in Las Vegas, the Wolfe is my favorite, and playing one of the other 2, either the Sun Mountain or the Snow Mountain, makes a terrific 36-hole day. And then you can be back on the strip in about 20 minutes. Number 13 on my list, We Ko Pa Saguaro course in Fort McDowell, Arizona, right outside of Scottsdale. The Saguaro is part of a 36-hole complex along with a Cholla at the We Ko Pa Casino and Resort, again, just outside of Scottsdale, Arizona. We Ko Pa provides a terrific stay and play option when you're in the Phoenix, Scottsdale areas. We stayed at the resort as well. It's very close to Old Town Scottsdale. You can be there in 20 minutes or less, and it's within an hour drive of 60 plus some odd great courses in the Valley of the Sun. The Saguaro course was designed by Bill Core and Ben Crenshaw and is on a Native American reservation and has no homes on the course. So you have unobstructed views of the desert and the surrounding mountains, just like Pauite in Las Vegas, which makes it a really beautiful day on the golf course. Uh, Core and Crenshaw did a great job of making the golf course fit in the desert. So you always feel like that you're out in nature there and it doesn't feel contrived in any way, shape, or form. The Saguaro has been rated Golf Digest top 100 public courses, as well as the #1 ranked public course in Arizona. The Saguaro has 5 sets of tees ranging from right at 5,000 yards to just under 7,000 yards, so it provides a challenge for all levels of players. Coming in at number 12 on my list is the Kapalua Plantation course in Lahaina, Maui. The Plantation course was another designed by Core and Crenshaw and is the site of the PGA Tour season opening Century Championship. Used to be the Tournament of Champions back in the day. The Plantation course has been voted Golf Week's #1 course in the Hawaiian Islands for 15 straight years. The course was rated number 23 in the top 100 public courses you can play by Golf Digest as well. The course has 5 sets of tees ranging from 5,100 yards to over 7,600 yards from the tip, so it's quite long. In fact, the course has some dramatic elevation changes and some awe-inspiring views of the Pacific Ocean and the islands of Molokai and Lanai in the distance. So it's really a beautiful day on the golf course. Now, the wind can play havoc because it's really exposed out there. And with all the elevation changes, you've got to be really good at getting your distances. But it is a beautiful walk on the golf course. The Plantation course is part of a 36-hole complex along with the Bay course on the northwest coast of Maui. But sadly, currently, because of the water restrictions, the course is closed right now, and they're trying to get the turf back under control and bring the turf back from the drought. In fact, it's put the tournament, the Century Championship, in jeopardy for this particular year. The resort has stay and play packages along with pickleball, has a spa and other amenities to make it a perfect stay and play whenever you're on the island of Maui. Number 11 on my list, Great Waters Country Club in Greensboro, Georgia. Uh, Great Waters is an 18-hole Jack Nicklaus signature design that he completely renovated in 2019. Great Waters is part of the Reynolds Plantation Resort, which is a beautiful 5-star resort about an hour and a half east of Atlanta, right off I-20 and on beautiful Lake Oconee. Reynolds Plantation now has 8 courses. I think they only had 4 when I lived there. All of which are 5-star layouts and first-class amenities, and it offers terrific stay and play experience. The course has 6 sets of tees ranging from just over 5,000 yards to a little over 7,100 yards, making it playable for all levels of players. In fact, the fairways are pretty wide. It is one of the most scenic of the 8 at Reynolds Plantation, as many holes are framed by Lake Oconee and the beautiful tall Georgia pine trees. You won't regret playing this one. In fact, if you ever go to Georgia, you definitely need to stop at this resort because it is definitely first class. Great Waters made Golf Digest top 100 public and top 100 courses that you can play. Coming in at number 10, Old MacDonald at Bandon, Oregon, part of the Bandon Dunes Resort, my favorite golf resort in the world. The resort is about 4 hours drive from south of Portland on the southwest coast of Oregon, and it's this completely self-contained resort where you won't need a car, as the resort has a shuttle system that's terrific, and then there's many tour operators that even offer airport shuttles from the Portland airport and the Eugene airport. So you won't even need a car, although we rented one when we were there so we could go into town and Bandon and go into Coos Bay to eat at night. But you really don't have to. Everything that you possibly need is at Bandon Dunes, and I cannot recommend this resort enough. Old MacDonald's was designed by Tom Doak and Jim Urbina, and it pays homage to famous Hall of Fame architect C.B. MacDonald, featuring many of his template holes throughout the course. It's probably the most, I don't know, what's the polarizing course at Bandon. You either love it or hate it when you first play it because it's so different than the other 4. It doesn't have the views of the other courses of Bandon Dunes, but it does have the most Scottish links feel to it, and it reminded me of the courses we played, such as Prestwick and Cruden Bay, because of the kind of the quirkiness of the golf course. Uh, It has some massive greens. I mean, humongous greens, which remind you of the old course in St. Andrews. Old Mac, like all of the courses at Bandon, has 5 sets of tees, including a forward set of tees that are all under 4,000 yards. So it makes it highly playable of players at all levels. In fact, this was Cheryl's first real golf trip to a golf resort, and she absolutely loved it because they had tees at 3,800 yards that she could play from and not be overwhelmed by the golf course. Although this one played probably more difficult for her because of the size of the greens and the severity of the slope on the greens. I think the more you play Old Mac, I think you'll appreciate the design more and the subtleties of the course, understand where to play it and how to play each shot. Because literally every shot you hit at Old Mac, you have several options that you can play. And playing it on the ground in any course at Bandon, but especially Old Mac, is always a good idea. And if you're a shot maker, you're absolutely going to love playing Old Mac. Now, it is exposed. It's probably, other than maybe Sheep Ranch, it's probably the most exposed there. So if the wind is up, it will play extremely difficult. Like I said before, it has massive greens. I mean, huge greens, not quite as big as the old course, but close. And they are extremely undulating. So you've got to choose the right club coming into those greens. In fact, I hit some shots that I thought were going to be stiff, 5-6 feet, and they caught the wrong side of one of those slopes. And I was looking at a 40-foot putt. So you've got to be really good on your approach shots at Old Mac. Old MacDonald is rated by Golf Digest top 100 courses in America, and number 14 in the top 100 public courses that you can play as well. Coming in at number 9 on the list, we're going to stay right here in Bandon, Oregon, and Sheep Ranch Golf Course. It's the newest of the 5 full-length golf courses at Bandon Dunes Resort on the southwest Oregon coast. It was designed by Corin Crenshaw. That'd be the third one on my top 15 in the U.S. so far. And the unique thing about Sheep Ranch is it doesn't have a single bunker on the entire course. Sheep Ranch used to be, there was a old par 3 course there that was just kind of an afterthought on the north end of the resort. And Corin Crenshaw were brought in to design a full 18-hole golf course. I think it's got the best views of Bandon Dunes, as it has 9 greens that sit right on the ocean. And I don't think you're going to find a prettier walk because you're literally looking at the Pacific Ocean all day long on the cliffs there. I think you can see some of the pictures behind me here. I do think it plays the easiest of the 5. I think it was Cheryl's favorite because of the views and not having any bunkers on the golf course. But if there's wind, it probably is the most exposed, it and Old Mac. So if it's windy out there, and we got lucky, there wasn't hardly any wind the day we played it. So it was just beautiful, sunshine, bluebird day. Sheep Ranch has 5 sets of tees. Like I said in the Old Mac video, literally running from 3,900 yards to just about 6,600, making it really playable for all levels of players. Holes 5, 6, and 7, and then holes 15, 16, 17 were some of my favorite 3-hole stretches in golf. Literally, the views are incredible on all 6 of those holes, and they all have infinity type greens that look like they just drop off the edge of the earth. I mean, you're not going to find 6 golf holes that you're going to enjoy much more than that, especially if you have a great weather day like we did. If you want a beautiful round of golf with ocean views literally all day long, no matter where you're at on the golf course, and of course it's not going to beat you up, then Sheep Ranch is going to be your place to play. All right, coming in at number 8 on my list of top 15 golf courses in the United States that I've played, and I believe the first fully private course that on the list is Atlanta Athletic Club, the Highlands course in Johns Creek, Georgia. Atlanta Athletic Club has 2 courses, the Highlands and the River, as well as a 9-hole par 3 course. It used to have, when I lived there, it used to have a skeet shooting range and a polo field and all kinds of fishing ponds, and it's right along the Chattahoochee River there. So it is a beautiful, beautiful facility. The Highlands has hosted numerous USGA amateur and pro events, as well as some PGA national championships, including 1 Ryder Cup, 3 men's PGA championships, 1 women's PGA championship, and 1 men's US Open. The club once was housed at East Lake, where they play the Tour Championship now, literally the home of Bobby Jones right across the street. But as the membership grew, another club was built in the northern suburbs of Atlanta in the 1960s, and is home of an expansive Bobby Jones museum. In fact, it was literally a mile, maybe 2 miles down the road from one of the high schools I coached at in Atlanta there. The Highlands has 7 sets of tees, ranging from 2,500 yards over 7,600 yards, making it one of the most playables by all levels of players that I've ever played, even much like the courses at Bandon Dunes. So I had those forward sets of tees that, you know, beginners or higher handicap could play from and not be overwhelmed by the course. Reese Jones did a major renovation in 2016 to the course and features all these tall Georgia pine trees and the use of small ponds and the typical Reese Jones bunkering. And it's a really peaceful day on the golf course, even though you're right in the middle of all the hustle and bustle of the Atlanta northern suburbs. Number 7 on my list of top 15 golf courses in the United States that I've played is another private course, Oak Tree National in Edmond, Oklahoma. Oak Tree National was once called the men's course at Oak Tree Country Club and was part of a 54-hole complex, but later became a separate club and renamed Oak Tree National. Oak Tree National has hosted the PGA Championship, a Senior PGA Championship, and a Senior U.S. Open. The course was designed by Pete Dye, who, when he built it, and this is when I was in college, was told to create the hardest golf course in the world. And in fact, one of the holes on the golf course, I believe it's 16, par 5, has a hangman. There used to have a hangman's noose hanging from the tree in one of the bunkers there because you were ready to kill yourself. The golf course was so hard. The course features typical Dye design items such as railroad ties and bulkheads, severe mounding, water on 14 of the holes, large bunkers, huge bunkers, waste areas, deep rough, and really small and severely undulating greens. Oak Tree National is Golf Digest top 100 courses in the U.S. 6 former tour players and 22 current players are members there, including, when I was in school, the famous Oak Tree Gang from the 1980s, Willie Wood and Scott Verplank and the Edwards brothers and Doug Toole and Bob Tway. And now there's 22 current players on either the PGA Tour, Tour Champions, the Korn Ferry Tour. They all live out of there, play out of there. The course has 6 sets of tees ranging from 5,100 yards to over 7,400 yards from the tips and has a slope rating of 155, which is tied for the most difficult in the United States with a couple of other Pete Dye designs. Coming in at number 6 on my list of top 15 golf courses I played in the U.S. is Harbortown Golf Links in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Harbortown is another Pete Dye design, one of his earliest ones. And you can see a pattern here. I absolutely love his golf courses. They are visually stunning. They're very difficult but fair, and the shot values are off the chart. He makes you literally hit every club in the bag, and you have to be able to work the ball right to left or left to right, sometimes even on the same hole. You might have to play your tee shot right to left. You might have to play your shot into the green, then left to right. So it's an amazing shot maker's golf course, which is typically why the best shot makers and ball strikers win the RBC Heritage Classic that's played there every year, the week after the Masters. Harbortown is at Sea Pines Plantation on the south end of Hilton Head Island on Caledonia Sound. And like I said before, it's the host of the RBC Heritage Classic the week after the Masters and is in Golf Digest top 100 public golf courses. Harbortown has arguably the best set of par 3s of any course in the world, and I'd rate it right up there with the TPC Sawgrass, another Dye design, and Pacific Dunes. So those 3, just amazing sets, 4 par 3s on each one of those golf courses are just amazing. Harbortown has 5 sets of tees ranging from 5,100 yards to just at 7,100 yards from the back, and it winds through Spanish oak forest and along Caledonia Sound with a typical Pete Dye mounding, railroad tie bulkheads, small, really small, some of the smallest greens you'll ever play, undulating greens, waste areas, and then very, very creative bunkering. It's really tight golf courses. Those Spanish oak trees kind of hang over the fairway, and you can be in the middle of the fairway and be blocked out to the green if you're not on the right section of the fairway because of the way those trees hang over. And it really makes you plot your way around the golf course. You can't just wail away off the tee. You've really got to play the hole backwards from the green back. All right, moving into my top 5 golf courses I've played in the United States. Number 5, Bandon Trails at the Bandon Dunes Golf Resort in Bandon, Oregon. This was the 3rd course at the Bandon Dunes Resort, and it was designed by Corin Crenshaw, another Corin Crenshaw design on my list, and the only one that doesn't have holes on the ocean at Bandon Dunes. It's an absolutely stunning tree-lined course with dramatic elevation changes from the first hole all the way back down to the 18th. and literally each hole feels totally isolated from the others. It's an incredibly peaceful day on the course. You're going to feel totally isolated and at one with nature on this one. It's a unique layout at Bandon Dunes in that it starts in the dunes and then moves inland and uphill. And it winds through a forest. And literally each shot has lots of options, making it different each time that you play that golf course. It's got a lot of risk reward holes on it. Like other courses at Bandon Dunes, it has multiple sets of tees ranging from 3,900 yards to about 6,700 yards, making it really playable for all levels. So it definitely not just a buddy's trip anymore. Uh, Cheryl had an absolute ball there. In fact, we were scheduled to go this past Thanksgiving again, but we didn't get to go due to some family illness. But it is definitely worth your trip. If you've never been, you have to go. At first, the first time we went to Bandon, I wasn't exactly thrilled, looking forward to playing Bandon trails because I was wanting to recreate my Scottish experience when we'd gone to Scotland. I wanted to play link style golf courses, and that's not what this is. This is a parkland golf course. But after playing it, you're just like, wow, this is an amazing golf course. The layout was incredible. You had all kinds of different shots you had to play, different elevations, and just so peaceful. It really, really loved this golf course. Bandon Trails is currently ranked Golf Digest top 100 courses and the top 100 public courses you can play. In fact, all 5 are in the top 20 of the top 100 courses you can play and top 100 public courses you can play. And number 4 on my list, Kiawah Island Resort, the Ocean Course on Kiawah Island, South Carolina. The Ocean Course is one of 5 courses on the Kiawah Island Resort, and it's another Pete Dye masterpiece, and it has 10 holes right on the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, they claim that it's the most in the Northern Hemisphere. This course dramatically changes due to the strong winds that shift with the tides and the holes being exposed to the ocean. You can literally play, they claim, up to 7 to 8 clubs difference on a specific hole or a specific shot, depending on which way the wind's blowing and how hard it's blowing. In fact, the day we played it, it was probably in the mid 40s, low 40s, and started raining on the back 9. By the time we finished, it was raining sideways. So I can attest it played extremely difficult, much like a couple of we played in Scotland when the wind got up like that. I felt so sorry. There was a couple that were getting married. And they were setting up for a wedding out on the lawn there between the clubhouse and the beach, and it was just pouring. I thought, there's no way. Anyway, the course is rated Golf Digest top 100 courses at number 25, and the top 100 public courses you can play at number 4. So it's really highly thought of. The coast has hosted the Ryder Cup, the War at the Shore, and the PGA Championship twice. It has 6 sets of tees ranging from 5,100 yards to over 7,700 yards, and also plays to a slope of 155, as did Oak Tree National, another Pete Dye design, making it one of the hardest golf courses in the United States. It doesn't have as many trees as a typical Pete Dye design, but it does blend into the dunes seamlessly and offers some tremendous views. In fact, if you put fescue grass on it, it would play a lot like the courses we played in Scotland. I got to play the Ocean Course in Harbor Town on back-to-back days with my brother. You talk about 2 terrific days of golf. So it was right up there with our trip to Scotland. When we played Carnoustie in the Old Course in the same day, or played Cruden Bay and Aberdeen in the same day. So great 2 days of golf. You can't go wrong with any of the golf courses on Kiawah, but especially the Ocean Course. Number 3 on my list is the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra, Florida. It's a Pete Dye masterpiece that was designed on a cocktail napkin in a bar, and that's the home of the Players Championship and the home to the PGA Tour headquarters. I used to live maybe 30, 40 minutes from the golf course and got to go to the Players a lot, and was fortunate enough to play this golf course with my brother as well. It's located in Ponte Vedra, Florida, on the south end of Jacksonville, maybe a mile and a half from the Atlantic Ocean. The course is rated by Golf Digest in the top 100 in the U.S. and the top 100 public courses at number 8. It has an amazing shot value, probably the highest of any of these courses on my list. as Pete Dye makes you work the ball both ways. Like I said before, even on the same hole, you like number one, you got to hit a draw off the tee, and then you got to hit a fade into the green because of the way the green's tilted. And he does that all throughout the round, which is why I think every year you watch the players, they talk about how the pros are uncomfortable because visually it's really makes you think your way around the golf course. Typical to Pete Dye designs, they've got the huge mounds, the big bunkers, the waste areas, the water hazards, the island green, but it's just an amazing layout, and it's a well thought out, just a gorgeous day on the golf course. It has an awesome set of par threes. Like I said, at Harbor Town, it ranks right up there with Harbor Town's par threes and Pacific Dunes for maybe the best set of par threes in the United States. Just absolutely gorgeous, all four of them. TPC Sawgrass has stay and play packages, and it has a full service resort with 2 courses. And then there's a private course right there as well. And then you're only maybe 30 minutes from the old Golf Hall of Fame down in St. Augustine, and 4 golf courses there. So there's some great golf in the Ponte Vedra, uh, St. Augustine area there. And then TPC Sawgrass has one of the best 3 finishing holes of golf. Those 30-hole stretch of 16, 17, 18. It's going to be hard to rival those 3 anywhere on the planet for finishing holes, and especially dramatic finishing holes, especially at a tour event so prestigious as the Players. The golf course has 5 sets of tees ranging from around 5,000 yards to a little over 7,300 yards, and also plays to a slope of 155, tying the Ocean Course, which is a Pete Dye, and Oak Tree National Pete Dye, both of which made my top 15 list. For number 2 on my list of top 15 courses in the United States, we're going to go back to the Oregon coast in Bandon, Oregon for the original Bandon Dunes golf course. It was the first of the courses that Mike Kaiser had built on his vision of Bandon Dunes Golf Resort, and it was designed by Scotsman David McClay Kidd. The course winds its way through dunes and along the Pacific, offering some terrific views. The first few holes are through the dunes, and you get out to number 4 there, and now you're along the ocean, and you've got some amazing holes right there, and then an amazing stretch of finishing holes out by the ocean as well. Clay Kidd does a great job of making you think that you're in Scotland on the North Sea with the routing and his use of the terrain. And it's the closest I've been to playing the great courses we played in Scotland. This is by far the best stay and play resort for value, quality of every course, food on site, transportation that you can get for strictly just golf. It is a golf mecca, must go and must play. It is just amazing. And if you go in November, when we did the 3rd week of November, Thanksgiving week, it is incredibly cheap. It's an amazing value, and the weather was fine while we were there. We had 1 day of rain. It was the day we played Bandon Dunes, matter of fact, and we had rain for maybe 4 holes, 5 holes, but the rest of the time we had weather in the 40s and 50s, and it was really cheap. You need to watch our video on Bandon Dunes to show you just how inexpensive it can be. I literally could play this course every day and never get tired of it. This, the old course, Cruden Bay, Prestwick, Royal Aberdeen in Scotland. I could literally play those golf courses every day. At Bandon Dunes is no different and never get tired of it. The shot value is so great, and the aesthetics are just so gorgeous. Bandon Dunes was rated by Golf Digest in its top 100 course at number 44, and top 100 public golf courses comes in at number 9. And then drum roll, please. The number 1 course of my top 15 that I've played in the United States, we're going to stay right here at Bandon Dunes, is Pacific Dunes in Bandon, Oregon. This course was designed by Tom Doak, and it was the 2nd course that Mike Kaiser had built in his Bandon Dunes resort. Pacific Dunes fits seamlessly in the terrain, and it looks like it's been there forever. It's definitely my favorite set of par 3s on any course in the world, and you're going to stand up there and look at that ocean on those 4 par 3s. It's just absolutely amazing. Pacific Dunes starts out in the dunes and then works its way along the Pacific before finishing back in the dunes again. Literally, it's got 18 different golf holes, and all can be played in a variety of ways. And like I said before, it has that Bandon Like all courses at Bandon, the fairways are really wide, but the difficulty in the course, and all of the courses at Bandon, are around its greens, especially the bunkering, and then when the wind
Uh,
kicks up.
it's gonna.
Pacific Dunes has 5 sets of tees. Again, they range from 3,900 yards to just a little over 6,600. So all levels of players can play it. Cheryl absolutely loved this golf course, and it's really got a high slope rating. But she was able to play it and had a big time. Literally, if you gave me one or two courses to play every day, it would be a coin flip between the old course in St. Andrews and Pacific Dunes. You could literally play either one of them, and Bandon as well, and never get tired of them because the shot values and the beauty of the golf course is so great. Um, and like I said before, if you want the best stay and play resort for quality of every course, the food, the transportation, and just strictly golf vacation, Bandon has got to be number one on your list. Pacific Dunes is my all-time second favorite golf course in the world, behind the old course in St. Andrews. And if it had the history, which no course does, of the old course, it might be number one. So there you have it. My top 15 courses that I personally have played in my 41 years as a high school golf coach. But I hope you enjoyed the list. Please share with me your list and what you thought of the courses on my list if you played them. Our viewers would love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to see what your favorite golf courses in the U.S. are. And then click on the links in the description below, and you can see our full reviews of these golf courses. And check in next week as I will rate my top 15 courses I've played outside the United States. And then you can check out our other series as Cheryl and I rate and review golf courses and resorts from all around the golfing world for couples like us who like to travel and play golf. Places like the Bandon Dunes Resort, which I just mentioned, which had all 5 courses in my top 15. Scotland, if you want to save some money, Scotland, check out that series, and I can show you how to save money by booking your own trip instead of using the travel companies. Phoenix, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, Cabo San Lucas, Cheryl's favorite, and islands in the Caribbean and other places around the golfing world. So hopefully we'll see you on the first tee someday. Keep hitting them straight.